Alright guys, the brand new EZA AGL Kid Gohan is here in Dokkan today. We actually have him with one dupe. My SSJ4 mini Goku summons have continued in the background. I'm still yet to pull an SSJ4 mini Goku, but I did manage to get a dupe in this guy and probably pull pretty much everything else. But regardless, we're still going to rock out on a 220 lead. We do have an SSJ4 mini Goku friend. Gohan is starting with a 306k attack stat, 390 on defense, which is fine considering he is going to be stacking defense on super attack. So let's pick up some orbs. He is starting with 258% defense and all allies key +3 and 58% defense, along with SSJ4 mini Goku support as well. So we have a decent amount of support fluctuating through the team right now, including SSJ4 Carnival LR Goku's support on top of that, which is going to be very succulent indeed. And honestly, I really do wish I had my own one of these, because seeing his animations are just so... they're so sick. They're so good. So good. Dokkan, why'd you have to do me like that? Daima's finally in the game, like, properly. We finally got SSJ4 mini Goku. And this is how you do me. If I would have known this is how this was going to have been, I would have traded my golden Frieza luck, my baby luck, just to have one of him. But anyway, as long as we have 58% HP or more, 13 mil, not too bad to start with. I mean, he probably doesn't have the most links active right now, if we're being completely honest. Tanking double digits is a good start though. But as long as we do have 58% HP or more, Gohan will have guard for 3 turns. So this is going to be 1 from now, starting from now. All allies will gain 15% more defense for 2 turns when receiving an attack. So next time, in the next rotation, along with SSJ4 mini Goku and whoever else is there, Gohan will be given out a total of 63% defense and key +3, which is not too shabby if you ask me. Then when attacking with 12 or more key, which you're pretty much bound to do because he's a TUR, unless you're in like a specific red zone stage or supreme magnificent battle stage where, you know, enemies are doing like -6, -7, -8 key and you're really struggling to get orbs, or there's like an orb changing enemy, then I don't really ever see a world or a situation where you're not going to be getting 12 or more key. And then when he does get 12 or more key, 258 in terms of attack, you have a guaranteed stun. Unfortunately, we're not really going to be taking advantage of that here, and there probably isn't too many events or stages in the game where you are going to be able to take advantage of that. But if there is, having a guaranteed stun, as long as you're pretty much super attacking, it's a pretty good ability to have. I said if and when you can use it. Then when there is another heavenly event or demonic power category ally attacking in the same turn, which of course SSJ4 mini Goku is, he'll gain an extra 158% attack and defense and 58% damage reduction to go with the guard he's already got for 3 turns, which is very nice considering we are early doors with Gohan stacking. And then he'll get an extra 58% defense on top of all the defense he's getting. Because don't forget as well, the defense he gives out in support, he also has himself, because it doesn't say self-excluded, which is very nice indeed. We have a decent amount of support going on this rotation. We've got SSJ4 mini Gokus, we've got Gohans, and we've also got Half the Power Kid Goku. So Kid Gohan's up to just over a milli. He does have 634k defense. I have given him as much additional as I possibly can, so hopefully one of those does pop. I do wish he did have more chances of additionals in his passive, just because he is a stacker, but that is just me. And then after receiving an attack, which of course Gohan has done at this point, he will have an extra 158% attack, chance to crit by 58%, and have a guaranteed additional super for 5 turns, which is of course going to come in really, really handy considering he is a stacker and we want to stack up as much defense as possible. Now Gohan might not get a look in because SSJ4 mini Goku is doing just shy of 60 mil, and yeah, definitely isn't going to get a look in, so that's a little bit annoying because we do want the stacks, but we do have the guaranteed additional for 4 more turns. And the reason why that guaranteed additional is a bit more helpful and why I would like an extra chance of an additional super somewhere in his passive, not just the one guaranteed additional, is because of the stacking. And not only do I want it for the stacking in general so we can stack up quicker, but if you're like me and don't have mini Piccolo, because there isn't any other usable Piccolos in the game right now, nor is there a usable Krillin to trigger his unit super attack, it means you're only performing his normal super attack in game, which is only stacking by 30%, which with a decent amount of additional supers really isn't that bad. You know, you can actually kind of make the most of it. You can stack up quite a lot in one turn, but he only has one possible additional unless you factor in dupes or skill orbs. And of course, that is a lot of RNG to rely on for you to get an additional super from the dupe system. So if you don't get lucky and you don't get one of those, your only additional super, while it is guaranteed, which is nice, your only additional to rely on is the one he gets when receiving an attack, where he gets a guaranteed additional for 5 turns, which is good because it is guaranteed for 5 turns. However, it's only going to be 60% guaranteed each turn, which isn't a lot in the grand scheme of things. You know, if we were talking the unit super attack stack, which is 50% each time, doing 2 of those per turn with the potential of a third, taking it up to 150, yeah, that makes a noticeable difference. That can really jump Gohan's defense up a lot. I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just saying it could have been made a little bit better. You know, if you don't have the means to trigger his unit super attack effect, which some of you might not. You know, you might have summoned on SSJ4 Mini Goku, you might have pulled him great, you might not have the Mini Piccolo. And again, nor is there a Krillin unit that is currently usable in the game to give you that either or option. So you're kind of stuck with this the 30% stack on the defense, but he does also get a 50% attack raise on his normal super attack effect as well, along with having a 30% chance to stun, which of course we can't utilize here. So I'm intrigued to see how he does without the unit super attack effect, but all I'm saying is I feel like there should have been more additionals in his passive, even if they were just chances, not guaranteed, considering he does already have a guaranteed additional super, especially because, you know, to get the bigger stack, you may not have the Piccolo to actually do it. So you're kind of missing out on a decent amount of stacks, which, I'm not being funny, that 20% can really make a huge difference depending on the content you are in. So, in terms of this rotation, I'm gonna pop the Vegito active skill, just because, you know what, let me turn this off. Just because, well, why not? That is literally the only reason why. Because, well, why not? And I'm not going to use his actual active skill yet, because we don't really need to use it, I don't think. We can hold on to it for a little bit longer. But, you know, if we take Gohan, for example, now, and again, we don't have a Piccolo or Krillin, so he doesn't have no unit super attack effect. He's only super attacked once. You know, that was before that we triggered the guaranteed additional. But, you know, let's just say we had his defense is sitting just over 600k. Don't get me wrong, there's also quite a bit of support flowing through the team as well, of course, with himself, which also does actually kind of help out as well, if you can get a good amount of support on the team, including his own. But, you know, considering we don't have a Piccolo or Krillin to use to get the 50% defense stack, you know, if anything, his defense will probably be sitting high 600s, maybe 700k right now, which is a little bit on the slower side, considering how hard enemies are hitting nowadays and how difficult content is. So again, I would have really preferred like an extra additional in there somewhere. You know, if it was just a bog standard basic effect, chance to additional super, 50%, 70%, something like that. He's got his guaranteed one, which is great. Not only would it help him stack up quicker in general, but again, for those of us who doesn't have the means, which is Piccolo or Krillin, to get the 50% stack on the unit super attack effect, you know, we kind of miss out on some very important stacks. But regardless, we'll see how he does. We will see how Gohan does. Which, I mean, with the guard he's got for 3 turns and the 58% damage reduction and all the defense he's getting from his passive and then support, I mean, he's doing really, really well. Like, really well. But as I said, with the content that we face nowadays, things get really difficult really, really quickly. I mean, he's up to 781 right now, which is great, by the way. Do you know what? We'll pop that. We'll pop that just to pop that. So, I mean, is it on the slow side? Am I eating my words already? Is it on the slow side? I think it's a little bit on the slower side. Again, you're kind of locking away some important stats behind, to be fair, quite a restrictive SA effect for the unit super attack. You know, I know there's 2 units, but unfortunately there is only 1 usable Piccolo right now, and if you don't get lucky to pull him, that's it, really. Kind of tough titty, and there's just no usable Krillin. So I still kind of wish there was an additional in there, you know, at some point. Even if only like a 50 or 70% chance to do so. 19.3, I mean, he's not going to be doing the most damage. I mean, I think he's doing solid-ish damage for a unit that is good defensively and providing a lot of defensive support. And who can become amazing defensively with the stacks as well. So he did get the double there. So we'll see what his defense is sitting on next turn. And see how much of a difference the 30% stack is really making compared to a 50. And then one thing that we do have in the bag, which I think is just... I mean, his active skill was already very good when he initially came out anyway. But just having that on the team is also great. And HP recovery, it is 30%. But, you know, for those of us, which a lot of us, of course, do nowadays, we self-inflict. Doing no item runs where you only have no items at your disposal, or even if you are bringing items and you only have one, like a Whis, maybe an Usher, having even just a 30% heal on teams that don't really have any healing capabilities apart from picking up same type orbs is great bit of help. Will give himself guaranteed guard for 1 turn, so you know you could potentially save that up for as long as possible, then use it, get a little bit of health, and then also have your guaranteed guard with however much defense Gohan is stacked by that point, along with his 58% damage reduction. And, you know, that could be the difference between, you know, you potentially dying in the run, maybe even Gohan potentially dying in that run. I mean, I highly doubt, unless it's like a big boy super attack. And it could actually just make a world of difference, to be fair. And then not only that, on top of all the amazing support he's already giving out, he'll then give an extra 20% defense for 2 turns. For all allies. So that then takes his total defensive support up to Key +3. The base is 58% defense and the extra 15. So you're looking at 73% defense. And then the extra 20%, that's 83% extra defense to everyone else. Again, and if you run him with SSJ4 Mini Goku, that is extra support for him. And then whoever's in the 3rd rotation, including Gohan himself, because again, it doesn't say self-excluded. That is all that support from Mini Goku and Gohan going to both Mini Goku and Gohan respectively. And then potentially more support running through the team, like SSJ4 Carnival LR Goku, maybe even Path to Power Kid Goku. A lot of units are benefiting from not only Gohan's massive amounts of support, but just the combined amount of support as well. So Gohan off a couple stacks, he super attacked what, 3-4 times? Yeah, only 3 times because that 1 turn where SSJ4 Mini Goku just done too much damage. And he's up to 752k. So if I had to take an estimate, if he did get a look in that turn, if he got 1 off, you're talking 800k. If you got 2, you're talking just over 800k. So while it's still good, while it is still a decent amount of defense for only doing 3 super attacks, this is, of course, where RNG comes in. And again, I'm going to swing it back around to the fact if you don't have Mini Piccolo and you're not able to trigger the unit super attack effect, you do miss out on a decent amount of stats. Like that 20% can make a world of difference. With that guaranteed additional in his passive after receiving an attack, that is in total 40% defense you're missing from 2 supers in the turn, which really does make that much of a difference. Like, I've seen a couple screenshots of Gohan today, and you know, off a couple stacks, and that I think is with the, or as the unit super attack, he was already up to like 1.6 milli defense, something like that. So as I said, it does make quite a bit of a difference, and it just makes me wish that there was another additional super in his passive somewhere. As I said, just a basic effect that would have been like 50-70% chance of doing so. That actually could have made the world of difference. Just giving him an extra 30%. But I mean, his stacking is still good regardless. I'm not going to knock it. His stacking is still pretty good regardless. That guaranteed additional super does make a world of difference. He does have some good defensive coverage with the guard for 3 turns, with the 58% damage reduction, you know, with the fact he stacks in general, you know, all the support that he's giving everyone else, he's also giving himself. That is also making a big world of difference for getting his defense up a bit more as well, especially early on when he won't have stacked hardly at all, if at all in the very beginning. But I definitely think an extra additional in there would have done him a load of good. And again, especially for those of us who don't have Mini Piccolo to get the unit super attack off. But overall, I do really like him. I do really, really like him. I mean, in terms of getting him linked, I mean, doesn't really seem to be happening for us. I mean, I'm not surprised with the link sets he has. It's not bad links, it's just not a great link set. I kind of expected to die there, to be fair. So, I mean, overall, a very, very good EZA. Probably one of the best supports in the game. Great addition to SSJ4 Mini Goku's lead. Another great unit added to that team. I told you there was loads. I told you that team was a lot better than you thought. He's doing solid-ish damage for what he's doing on the team. I know it's not kind of the numbers we're kind of expecting nowadays. But, you know, reaching towards 20 mil, it's not bad, especially with an extra additional and the crit as well. Like, he can do some noteworthy-ish damage. But I mean, considering he's here to stack, be great defensively, provide a ton of defensive support, while also having a great kind of team helping active with the heal and more support and then guard, he does what he needs to be doing. And then again, mine is at level 1 links. I did only recently pull him, and I do only have 1 dupe in him. Of course, if you have more dupes in level 10 links, he's probably doing a bit more damage. But I do just really wish he had an extra additional in his passive, especially because there is only one usable Piccolo. It is Mini Piccolo. If you didn't get him off Goku's banner, you're missing out on a lot of stats. That is kind of my main qualm with this unit. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care, have a great day, and peace.